Well, to me, it isn't a near-death experience, it's a death experience. It's not near, it's real. Basically what happens is that you lift up out of your body, and you have a body, like a spirit body that is you, just exactly like you. And your awareness and your consciousness doesn't change at all. And then when you lift up, you look down and you see your body, and usually it's not a very pretty sight, but it's like, just like we're sitting here, it's the same feelings, thoughts, the same you can still feel your etheric body. And in my case, a couple of light beings came and said, well, we know that you're confused and afraid and everything, but just be calm, be still, we're with you. And then we went through what appeared to me to be a tunnel of light, a very bright tunnel of light. It seemed like it was about 12 or 15 feet in diameter. It was white, but it had a helix that went around the walls. One was pink and went counterclockwise. The other was blue, this helix, in the wall, and went the opposite direction. And once you get in there, and they know you're afraid. They said, we know you're afraid. And all of a sudden, it's like you're shot out of a cannon. Shoosh. And it's not up and it's not down. It's horizontal. There's a harmonic in the air of unconditional love. The only thing I can describe it as is the birth of our first son. After Carrie gave birth, the doctor handed me our son. And that feeling of holding our first son like that is the closest feeling on earth that I've ever had. And then other light workers and people that you used to know as they're in their youth now, come forward and say, welcome home. You're home now. Earth's not home. It's just where we go for a while. It's like a school. And you know you're home. And you're glad to be there. And there's no fear. There's no illness. There's no pain. It's just beautiful. And just with my luck, I just got used to being there and really enjoying it. And one of the light worker came, and it was a very, very powerful light worker. And it appeared to be a male to me. He said, you can't stay. You need to go back. You have work to do. But there was no question in it. I was going to go back. And then I was warned, don't try and come back before your time till the work's finished. So back through the tunnel with the light workers, the light beings, I should say, and whew, back to the bedroom, hovered over my body, and I went back in it. Then the pain and all the other stuff came back. And it was about a 2-month recovery before I could walk. But they were right. They had a job in mind, and there's work to do. And one night, my wife, Carrie, was sleeping next to me, and it was the first time they came. It was like a glow over in the corner of the bedroom that was a glow that got brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. I mean, really bright. And I don't know how my wife ever slept through that, but it frightened me. It was like, I didn't know if it was ETs. I didn't know if it was the end again. I really didn't know. But a voice, like a female voice, said, don't be afraid. Go out to your leather chair and get a pad and a pen. Well, a voice coming from a bright light kind of threw me a curve, and I put my hands over my eyes, but it was still bright, believe it or not. And I said, I'll do whatever you want if you'll turn the lights down. It's too bright. And so the lights seemed to dim. And I went on the kitchen, got a yellow pad and a pencil, and I went over to my leather chair in the living room, and I sat down. And it's probably not too hard to tell I'm not a PhD in anything, and I've never really written an outline in my life of anything. And I sat there, and the light was in the living room, and it got where I could handle the brightness, and they said, begin to write. And I remember sitting there, and I remember the pad, and I don't remember anything after that at all. Now, that was around 2 or 2:30 in the morning. The very next thing I knew is that I had fallen asleep in the chair, not really doing anything, and it was time to wake the boys up to go to school. So I'd wake them up, and we'd make breakfast. And I looked at the clock, and it was 6 o'clock, but it seemed like it was only like a 20-minute nap. And on my lap, still there, was this yellow pad, and we still have it, with a perfect outline. I went downstairs and I woke Jared up. I told him what had happened. And he looked at the outline, and he was in early high school. Then he goes, "Dad, we better do this."